Good morning.
Hey,
And you're looking lovely anyway.
Good morning. Thank you.
You look better than the food you're cooking.
It's good. We'll talk about compliments today. Some guys are really
don't mind him, like
complimenting
the
people.
police. They need to check up.
But that's a bad compliment. Yeah.
Okay, don't worry. We'll get back. We'll come back to that.
Good morning, Lola, Jimmy, Louisa. Good morning, viewers out there. It's Hilda Baci in my kitchen on Morning Rave, and I'm very excited today because what I'm making today is something I personally like. It's kind of like a personal favorite of mine. Yes, sir. Why are you drinking coffee? I'm talking, you're drinking coffee. Why?
I'm waiting for you to land.
All right, so I'm just going to drop the bombshell, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so the recipe for the day is native jollof rice. Yes, so, you know, Nigerians, we like jollof, but jollof is like everybody makes it, and then I was like, we need to spice it up a little bit, you know, add some juice, some sauce, and I came up with this recipe, and I hope you guys like it, and I hope you can learn. So I'm just going to go over the ingredients that would be used to make this recipe real quick. Now, so like I said, we're making native jollof rice. Now, what really makes this meal different is the fact that we're going to be using palm oil and lots of crayfish and dried prawns. So that being said, the ingredients that would be used to make this recipe is, I'm using basmati rice. You could use any kind of rice, local rice or fada rice, any kind of rice you want to use. But for me, I'm using basmati rice because it's more healthy, it's lighter, and you know, it's really good. So I'm using basmati rice. I used mortar and pestle to pound pepper and onions together. I'm going to use a little bit of scent leaf and pumpkin leaf. For those that don't know what pumpkin leaf is, it's ugu. Igbo people call it ugu. Jimmy, what they call it? What do you call it?
I can't recall what
we call it unkom.
In my language, Igbo people, yeah, we call it unkom. Yeah, and I'm going to be using pomo, also known as cow skin. I'm going to be using fried goat meat. I already boiled it and fried it. Palm oil. I'm using dried prawns and dried fish, dried catfish. I'm using crayfish, and this is a mix of blended tomatoes, pepper and onions. Then we're going to use iru, that's locust beans for those people that don't know what iru is. Then a little bit of seasoning and salt. Now, this I have here is the meat stock, that's the goat meat stock. I always like to save up my stock just in case I would need it. I may or may not use it. It's not compulsory. You don't necessarily have to use it to make your meal. And of course, the rice and water. So that's the ingredient that we're going to be using to make today's recipe, but hold your horses because I'm not about to start cooking. Jimmy still has so much to give you based on the trending topics, and even me, I can't wait to hear what he has to say. So, stay tuned. I am still here.
You're not going anywhere.
On Morning Rave, I'm not going anywhere.
You're not moving an inch anyway.
Welcome. It's still In My Kitchen on Morning Rave, or should I say it's still Morning Rave, and this is the In My Kitchen segment. And my name is Hilda Baci, keeping it locked down here in the kitchen, doing what I know how to do best. And at this point in time, I want to invite somebody very special to me to come and join me in this very beautiful bunkhouse kitchen of mine. Mr. Jimmy is smiling. It's not you. I wasn't referring to you. I'm so sorry. I wasn't referring to
Case
you.
closed.
So we have some I don't know, ever since I started this, you know, this segment, this beautiful lady, she has not been on stage. But today, the Lord has brought her here to me. Lola Bulski, can you come and join me in my kitchen?
Definitely. Hey, babe, somebody.
Hey, babe.
He's another conscious babe.
Okay, so while Lola is making her way down to the kitchen, I'm just going to go over today's recipe once again because I'm very excited.
Okay.
So today we are making native jollof rice.
Is it like red oil rice? Palm oil rice?
Like palm oil rice, yeah, but this one has like a little bit of
stuff
inside, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go over the ingredients that would be used to make this recipe today. So I'm using basmati rice, but like I said before, you could use ofada rice, any kind of local rice, regular rice, brown rice, any kind of rice you want. The reason why I'm using this is this particular kind of basmati rice I'm using is actually good for obese people and people that are living with diabetes. What else are you trying to do here? Yeah, it's good for them as well.
minutes does it take to cook? Because usually, when I cook it, I overcook it. Then it's now, it mashes.
This is actually the best and easiest way to make basmati rice.
Okay.
You have to boil the water first, and then you put it in. So you leave it for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then you take it out. That's when you're parboiling it.
Okay.
Now, so as I was saying, the ingredients that would be used to make this recipe is basmati rice. I use mortar and pestle to pound pepper and onions together. You can actually blend it if you want. That's if you don't want to see the onions in your food, you can blend it. And this, I'm using scent leaves, a little bit of scent leaves. I'm using a little bit of pumpkin leaves, also known as ugu. Yeah, I'm using cow skin, also known as pomo. I'm using fried goat meat. This is a mixture of dried prawns and dried fish. The
Dried prawns,
catfish.
are they expensive?
No, actually they're not. This cost about 200.
But you know when people hear like prawns, it's like exotic. Luxury.
The thing is, you need to know the right places to go and get it. And I'm actually going to be opening up my secret to where I get all these ingredients from subsequently. So stay tuned, guys. I'm going to use palm oil. I'm going to be using crayfish. This is a mix of blended tomatoes, fresh pepper, and onions here. I'm using iru, also known as locust beans, and seasoning cubes. I actually prefer to use crayfish seasoning cubes for this recipe, and I'm using salt because it gives it the crayfish, the aroma and the flavor and all of that. So without wasting any, and of course water. So without wasting any more.
What is this for? Because like what's going on?
Okay, so I'm going to be, because it's native jollof rice, I'm going to be using this local pot-ish looking plate to serve it. Yeah, so let me just have my apron on and then
ready.
Get the show.
So the rice is already prepared, yeah?
Yes, the rice is already prepared.
And instead, because I don't see groundnut oil here, are we going to use red oil instead?
Yes, we're using red oil.
To fry the... Okay, show me. Let's go.
We're going to go straight to it.
Talk to me. Don't talk to the camera.
Okay. All right. Okay, so now I've been heating up the pot. So the first thing that goes into the pot is the red oil.
You know, reflex was to like jump. Yeah, because that's what we do at home. Yeah. When you put oil, we run back.
Really?
It's gonna splash.
Yeah, sometimes, but well, for this time, let's say we're lucky. So we didn't have to worry about it.
Is it on like high heat or medium heat?
High heat, actually. You have you have to cook this on high heat.
Okay. Waiting for it to get really hot.
So
I love the smell of red oil. I think it just brings out something in every meal, whether it's beans or whatever you're using to cook. I don't know.
Okay, so I think this is, because the pot was really hot, it wouldn't take time.
Okay.
So this is the blended tomatoes, onions, and pepper. So this goes in first. And I already boiled this so that the frying process is easier.
Why did you boil it?
Well, you know, what is it called? Fresh tomatoes always has that slappy.
Okay.
Yeah, the sour taste to it.
So the boiling takes away the sour taste?
Yes, the boiling takes away the sour taste. So in order for you not to waste time when you're cooking, it's always best to just boil it first before the frying process.
Wow. Looks good.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not using tomato paste?
No, I'm not using tomato paste. But you can if you want to. You can use tomato paste. But for me, I really like to have fresh ingredients when I'm cooking. So that always makes things a lot easier. So the iru goes in now.
Why do you use iru, locust bean?
I just love the flavor it adds to the dish. It gives it this local aroma and, you know, so I love the flavor it adds to the dish.
It's nice.
So the good thing about this meal is it's really quick. So everything just goes in
quickly.
Yeah, quickly. So this is about this crayfish is 100 naira. Crayfish I used is 100 naira, which is equivalent to about 1.5 of this
spoon.
Yeah.
Like this meal we're making now, it serves how many people?
Like 6.
Wow.
6 people.
Not bad.
and a sizable portion as well.
Interesting.
6 people. So the next time you're trying to think about what more you could do with. So.
Yeah, I'm here to taste everything. Sorry.
Okay, so the dried prawns go in now.
I keep someone's food. So you're mixing everything together?
Yes, I'm going to mix everything together, then I'll just put in water.
This is so delicious.
You like?
Mm-hmm.
She likes it. Yay! I actually marinated this in
The cow skin?
Yes.
Explain that.
I put a little bit of salt and very little onions and one seasoning cube in it. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I just love the flavor it adds to it. It just gives it a little more. Because normally people say cow skin doesn't have taste and all, but I always marinate it. So when I'm done cooking with it, it will have taste. It doesn't have a choice. It has to have taste.
I can't wait to taste this, the whole meal. I feel like Jimmy, they're like so jealous. So I get to taste everything before you get to taste it.
You're going to taste it. Oh.
It's delicious.
So I'm just trying to create the mix where the rice goes into real quick. So I've used two cubes, 2 seasoning cubes so far. And for those that are wondering, oh, is this meal healthy? Is it good for me? Is it, I'm trying to watch my weight, which is why I was explaining the use of the basmati rice. That's the major reason. Yeah, that's one of the major reasons why.
Need help? Don't worry. Let me help you.
Yeah, and Lolo was asking a question about.
Put more water.
Yes, you should. Okay. That's okay. Lolo was asking a question about trying to ensure that your basmati rice is not soggy. Now, after you have parboiled it, basmati rice is very light, so it doesn't take so much time to get ready. Okay. So you shouldn't put too much water. Okay. Okay. You don't have to put too much water.
Do you taste that sauce? Nice, I can't wait.
You can't, you don't have to wait actually.
Thank you.
We're going to use this.
Thank you. Oh,
so you take yours and I take mine.
So delicious. You want to put more salt, yeah?
Yeah, because when I put the rice,
it's a bit peppery.
Yeah, it's actually a really spicy meal, but you don't have to use that much pepper if you don't want to.
I know a friend of mine, I think in his home, they make everything with garlic.
Yeah, actually garlic adds a whole lot, especially if you like marinate your proteins in it, and it's really healthy. It's good for weight loss, you know, and all that. So it's like a really healthy ingredient to add to your.
When are we gonna add that one there?
Once I'm done putting the rice.
Okay. Yeah. Yum. Let me help you again.
Yeah, you can hold that down. Thank you so much. Lola is very helpful in the kitchen today.
No, it's because I'm eating out of it. Don't think it's my normal stuff.
Are you serious?
No. I'm nice. You know I'm nice.
Yes, I believe in your niceness.
Trust in me.
It's your niceness that has conditions.
Conditional enough. Oh my goodness.
Lola's love is highly conditional.
Smartek. For party jollof rice, you know we have normal house jollof rice, quote unquote, and we have that. I'm mostly for this jollof rice because it's party rice.
Yeah.
Can we use basmati rice as well to make that?
You know the thing, like try it. Basmati rice and local rice most times is usually the best for any kind of cooking. Because basmati rice usually comes out well. You don't have to really, if done properly, you don't have to worry about it sticking together.
That was actually what I was asking, because you know usually there's something very distinct about party rice, is that it's so separate. Every every strain is.
Some people tell you party jollof. Some places, some are done, some are half done. Some sticks together. You know.
How do we avoid that? Where of course, some part of the rice may be done and the other part is not done. How do we make sure that everything is well cooked? You have to
regulate. First of all, the pot. Ensure that the pot size that you're using corresponds with the size of the gas or stove or
The metal stove.
yeah, whatever it is that you're using to cook first.
Okay.
Now, once you do that, ensure that your what's it called? Your mixture is like properly done, like with enough water and all of that in it as well. So once you have that like locked down.
My next question is going to sound very silly, but why are you using a wooden stick?
Spatula too.
Yes. In my Igbo, like we call it toningari. Why are you using a toningari stick? to mix and not a normal spoon? Because it looks very...
It's easier.
Okay.
It's easier to get like all the ingredients mixed to each other without mashing or cutting into the rice. You get, so it's a lot easier to get everything mixed in. And I like to use a lot of onions for this dish because there's this sweetness onions add to a meal.
I love onions. I know a lot of people don't even like seeing onions in their meal.
Yeah, people actually like the onion flavor, but they don't like to see it.
I love to see it in my meal. I eat onions raw.
Well, for those people, you can always blend. You can always blend.
Like you blended the tomato, the pepper, and onions.
Yes, and then I'm still using
adding a bit of onions as well.
So
It's lovely. It looks lovely and it smells divine, by the way. You can't smell it from home, but I can smell it. It is so good.
yeah,
so good.
so.
Can't wait.
And this meal can pass for like, most times you're like, I can't serve palm oil rice with my,
Come on, stop. Okay.
Some people
I think
say,
there's a negativity attached with palm oil in the sense that
yeah,
it's
like
local.
it's not, it doesn't look presentable. So people of God, this is one way to make your
meal.
palm oil rice very presentable.
Yes.
Just infuse a lot of protein,
Inside.
you know, lots of vegetables in it, dry fish. Just put in a lot of things to just make it
pop.
Yeah, to just make it pop rather.
To make it more red, in my lack of better words, do we have to add more red oil?
Yes, we do actually.
Okay.
And I'm going to do that in a bit. So I used about 5 cubes, 5 seasoning cubes to do
the crayfish flavor, yeah?
Yeah.
For the aroma.
Okay, these cubes are being very stubborn, but that's fine.
There's something also, I know, I just see some people do this.
Yeah.
They actually blend their cubes with the tomato that they're blending
Yeah,
and everything. And they
actually
say makes it infuse more with the meal.
Yeah, it actually does. So I'm going to be using a little bit of the meat stock.
Okay.
This is the goat meat
The goat
stock
meat
I
stock.
used yesterday. Like I said, once again, it's not compulsory. You don't necessarily have to use it.
Can you store this?
Yes, you can. Just put it in the fridge.
And you use it for other meals as well?
Yes, you can use it to make
Wow.
anything. I didn't put curry when I was
But
boiling
look
the
at the
goat.
way he actually, I think just putting the stock just gave it, a new look.
Yeah,
It popped.
it does actually. It
Fantastic.
does. It goes a really, really long way.
So good. So good.
All right.
Smells and looks delicious.
Yeah.
What's next?
So at this point, we're going to close the pot
Okay.
and let it sit. So it's going to sit now, let it cook in its own juices and all till the rice is tender and it's done. Then when it's almost done, I'll put in the crayfish and the ugu.
The crayfish?
Sorry, did I say the crayfish? The scent leaves.
The scent leaves.
I don't know what's with me and crayfish today. So I'll put in the scent leaves and the pumpkin leaves. That's the ugu.
Okay.
To, you know.
How long do you let pumpkin leaves? Because people say you don't let it cook for so long.
I only put it when the food is ready.
Okay, so it's still fresh.
It's still fresh. You can still feel that
crunchiness,
crunchy. You can still have that crunchy feel to it. So I'm only going to put it in this mix once the food is ready.
Fantastic.
So I hope that you have been able to learn something. But just in case, for the benefit of those that didn't start with us or met us halfway, I'm just going to go over the recipe again, the ingredients and the process to which I used to arrive at this point.
Okay.
So I'm making native jollof rice once again. and I used basmati rice. Once again, you can use any type of rice you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be basmati rice. I'm just trying to make the meal a little bit more healthy for us, so us trying to keep fit and all of that. So I used basmati rice. I used pounded onions and pepper. I'm going to use scent leaves and pumpkin leaves. Scent leaves and ugu for people that don't really know what pumpkin leaf is. I used a mix of dried prawns and dried fish. I used blended fresh tomatoes, onions, and pepper. I used seasoning cubes and salt. I used iru. I used blended crayfish. I used palm oil, and I have fried goat's meat here. I used cow skin as well, pomo, to make this meal. Yeah, so this would also go in when the meal is also.
So you mix everything together?
Yeah, mix everything together. So it's just like more flavor, more to munch on.
To balance the stock as well.
Yeah, there are more interruptions while you're eating the meal. Obstacles while you're eating the meal.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now the process to how I got to this point. You're going to heat up a pot and then put the palm oil in a pan. Now, once you put the palm oil in the pot, allow it to bleach a little bit, and then you put in your blended pepper, onions, and tomatoes. Let it steam for a while, and then you put in the iru. So it gives it like that local flavor, gives it that very nice aroma. Then once that is done, everything else just follows suit. You put in the crayfish, you put in the cow skin, that's the pomo. You put in the dried prawns and the dried fish mix. You know, let that sit for a while, and then you add some water, put in seasoning, and please taste it. It's really not a crime to taste your food. Most people make it look like, oh, it's bad kitchen manners to taste your food.
How is that bad kitchen manners?
Yeah, as long as you're doing it in a healthy manner, it's really not a problem. So, please taste your food. Now, after that, I let it boil for a while, and then I put in the rice, and then we were checking the consistency to see if the water balanced with the quantity of rice, and then you taste it afterwards to know, oh, is the salt too much? Is the seasoning too much? If it's not, if it is, you add a little more water, but if it's not, and it's not enough, you add some more seasoning, and then you cover the pot and let it sit. So we're going to let it sit for a while they go on to their newspaper review and have their sports segment. And then when it's time for Let's Talk, we're going to see what this mix turned out to be, how it turned out at the end of the day. So we're going to go on a quick break now, but when we come back, Morning Rave continues. And it's still in my kitchen, and I just want to say thank you to the very helpful Lolo for helping me out in the kitchen. And my name is Hilda Baci. This is In My Kitchen on Morning Rave, where everybody can cook. Even you, anybody can cook on this segment of In My Kitchen. So don't go nowhere. When we come back, Morning Rave continues.
Be right back after this break.
Yes, so
Mr. I know.
going by what what I'm smelling, I know that. Wow,
It smells really good.
yeah, it smells really good.
It's getting
Yes,
something.
so people of the Lord, the food is ready, and I'm about to put the vegetables in. So we're going to open the pot and see what it looks like.
Okay.
I'm smiling because I really, 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 really love this meal. So,
In your kitchen.
yes, that's in my kitchen. So like I said, I'm going to turn this off now because I only put the vegetables in when the food is completely ready, because I want the vegetables to be crunchy.
Yeah, fresh.
Okay,
So it has that
not
crunchy.
not well done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it doesn't kill the.
So it's still healthy.
Vitamins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Wow,
So it doesn't kill it.
isn't that like eating raw vegetables?
That's when
But
you
there's
get
nothing
the
wrong with
nutrients
eating
now.
raw
That's when the
vegetables.
nutrients.
yesterday was
still-
vegan day, so
Like, yeah, I could recall that yesterday was Dragon Day, actually. Hey,
Yeah, so I'm just going to mix this together.
pot is quite full.
Yeah, so the pot is very full. You might end up
Can it all
serving.
go in the vegetables?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
can.
cool. Cool.
Because once the steam is still going to melt it.
Yeah.
Okay, melt the vegetables.
So if you want to do this at home, you have to just measure your kind of pots and the vegetable. Maybe a bigger pot to suffice if you have a family like mine.
Yeah, please, if you have a very big family, you should use a bigger
like-
pot.
Okay,
Everybody
from
puts
mom's
together.
end or my own.
Yeah.
Okay, at least 5, 6, yeah. From mom's end, 8 of us. Popsy, momsy, auntie, sisters. So we use
Yeah, so
Wow.
So you use the.
It's a feast.
It's a feast.
It's good like that. I remember Hilda had a good cook.
I hope you're not saying that because you want to get a hold of all the food after.
wants to get something to eat now.
But you know you're a good cook. We always say that. Wow.
Thank you. It looks delicious.
This is delicious.
It's now served
Okay,
in,
listen, listen.
what's it called?
The
native
traditional,
bowl.
the native
Yeah,
bowl.
it's native jollof rice.
Native Jollof
So you
Rice.
must go with.
I was like, okay, let's say that's like Ebo. But it looks good.
It looks good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys should grab it.
Heck.
Okay. But then, what's the best compliment you've got?
A lot though.
Okay.
The heat
Does
is
it annoy
popping.
you? Or, I mean,
What's the worst? Okay, let me put that. What's the worst?
Oh, you're pretty for a fat girl. No, you're pretty for a dark girl. I think that's the
Oh,
worst.
that's the worst you've
I've
ever gotten.
gotten.
oh,
I
oh,
knew-
I didn't say that girls are not beautiful.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I find that. Oh, that's an insult.
You're pretty for a dark
For a
girl.
dark girl.
It's
Okay.
an insult.
Okay.
Then there's this other thing people always tell, like they'll tell you, and throughout like my secondary school, it was assumed to be a compliment, but it's not. When someone tells you you're photogenic, it's not a compliment.
Okay.
Really?
Thank you.
Well, what it means to be photogenic, it means you look better in
pictures
pictures. You're
than in
good
real
for
life.
pictures. It doesn't necessarily mean you look good in person. So if I'm telling you you're photogenic, that's like my own kind of way of telling you,
You know, fine for real
Auntie,
life.
You know,
you
fine for
don't
real
look
life.
so
But I
good.
think,
You look better
I
in
think it
pictures.
depends. If I'm a model and you tell me I'm photogenic, that's amazing because it's my
That's
line of work.
a compliment. But when you tell someone like me, I'm photogenic, why? Why are you telling me I'm photogenic?
There's nothing bad
I
in
try
that.
to say I'm ugly in
No,
real
no.
life.
No, but seriously, there's nothing bad in that. I want to show you.
Please,
something.
could you tell me what you think about the
I think
meal?
it's so delicious.
It is delicious, and
Yummy.
once again,
Don't
I
overflatter.
have wow.
that's not flattery. Seriously, that's for real. I mean for real. Not taking a flattery.
The country,
The vegetable is
Pumpkin.
crunchy,
I
yeah?
told you.
Yeah, most times people let their vegetables cook
Too long.
too long, and you even like the ingredients are out of it, the nutrients are out of it, and then you don't even get the real vegetable feel. So I always try to avoid that when I'm doing my cooking. So
the
this,
crayfish too is
It's popping.
the big ones. What's it called?
Prawns.
yeah,
Louisa, God damn.
big.
It's not crayfish.
Louisa, the crayfish is popping.
As I forget the call now. Remind me, it's called obu.
Prawns.
Oh,
The
my
obu.
sister, is got gang, you know, boo.
What is it? What is it?
Well, I just spoke my language.
Yeah, I want to hear it again.
It's called
I
obu.
was saying, I was trying to say something before you interrupted me. Yeah, so this is the end product of the meal, but trust me, like I said, you could use anything you want. You could use what's it called? Any kind of rice. It doesn't necessarily have to be basmati rice. It's just that I'm trying to be healthy and I'm trying to put like people with diabetes and obesity into consideration with this meal. You don't necessarily have to use all the necessary that I put inside, all those interruptions. It's not necessary. If you have a certain budget you're trying to work with, you don't necessarily have to use all of that.
Okay.
But trust me, to make your meal a lot nicer, it's always good to infuse like a lot of onions. Even if you don't like to see the onions, blend it with the pepper, and it just gives this very sweet flavor to your dish. And
So-
then lots of crayfish really helps with this meal.
So in
as
a
well.
nutshell, what's the budget for someone who
like you can make this with less than 1,000.
less than 1,000?
Yeah.
You
That's
get this,
amazing.
and that's amazing. That's
So provided you have like the basic things, boiled rice, every other
Every
thing
other
is
thing is
every
just,
other thing is.
Let's give you the interview.
Well, we're out of time right now, and I will have to say thank you very much for joining us this morning on another edition of Morning Rave, the Love Thursday edition of it. And just as you've said, Lola has done the best, and that's my best compliment for her. She's a good cook anyway.
Thank you.
no.
Thank you very much. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Who cooked the
You
food?
just said
Thank you.
Mixing the names.
You're not going to say
Wow.
you can.
Lola,
I've done the best I
stay off
can.
air
It's
with us,
okay.
Dave. No, I'm talking about Hilda here. How can I go?
Sometimes they
A
make
mix of-
mistake. They take the compliment for Lady A for B.
Yes.
This is an honest.
That's what-
So I can see that you've been looking at Lolo since
No,
since
that's
this
an
morning.
honest mistake.
And then you
I'm talking
carried
about
my compliment and you gave it to her.
Baci. Sorry about that.
No.
Hilda Baci, always a good. She's a good cook anyway. But thanks very much for joining us once again, and to the crew who works behind the camera. Yeah, well done this morning. We'll do this again tomorrow. Thank God, this Friday edition of the show. So
And
then-
I'll be here next week.
Yeah, definitely. She'll be here
Making
next week.
something very
Is it?
Conscious.
Delicious.
Something fabulous again.
Thank you.
Bye for now. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Oh my God, Lolo. No, don't worry. It's all good.
It's all in good fun.
Interesting. It's called.
What time is it?
Yeah. Jack it up.